Well, good evening, everybody. David Paul here in the KHOU Weather Center alongside Tim Pandages. Team weather this evening as we anticipate a strong, maybe severe line of thunderstorms to move through southeast Texas and the Houston area as we head toward midnight and in the wee hours of Wednesday morning. Let's begin by taking a closer look at the radar, and here's the way we stand right now. And actually, Houston just missed a second round of rain and thunder this afternoon by having this cluster of storms move up through Lake Charles instead of up through the Houston area, as that first round of rain did late this morning and into early this afternoon. This is now weakening as it races through southwest and western Louisiana, but DeRidder, that is a severe thunderstorm warning that they are under. Closer look, Houston, Harris County, we've been dry for the past couple of hours now. We're cloudy. It's relatively mild. Had this little thunderstorm drift up through Winnie. That's I-10, that's Highway 90. So between Winnie and Beaumont, it's a little bit of a slowdown on I-10. And that's the only real action in East Texas right now. Zooming out, though, you can see where the action is developing. And this is what we are paying very close attention to. It's this line of thunderstorms right there. Look at the lightning just exploding on that line. I see a couple of things going on here. That's flash flood watch. These are all severe thunderstorm warnings, the brighter yellow boxes. The pale yellow area is a severe thunderstorm watch. This is where we expect the storms to develop. They are indeed developing, and that line is going to race toward Houston tonight. And that's what is going to give us the potential for not just severe storms, but I think really straight line winds and straight line wind damage may be the greatest threat as those thunderstorms roll in. There's a couple of things going on here. First of all, you can see this line of storms. It's linear and it's not moving southeast very rapidly, but notice this cluster of showers behind it. So that is a lobe of energy that's riding along the jet stream winds. That appears is what's going to give that a push to the south and southeast. And Tim Pandages, it's all riding on the upper level wind pattern coming across Texas right now. That's the driving force for the storm motion incoming. Yeah, it's a very complex scenario setting on up across the area, David. And when we go back to satellite and radar and look at Texas as a whole, or the region in general as a whole, the curious mind views this and they say, you know, it's very chaotic. We've got storm complexes moving in all different directions. We've had our bouts of round one moving through today that were developing to the south and then racing northwards. And I've gone back now 12 hours on this, and you can see the first round coming on through and the second round pivoting just slightly farther to the east. So this overall cyclonic circulation is slowly meandering to the east, but you can really see the difference in direction here. We've got the front dropping in from the north, pushing southeast, and then still these complexes of storms lifting due north at a pretty good pace. And as David mentioned, it all has to do with the setup of the upper level winds. And we've got a trough of low pressure, the parent low sitting over the panhandle of Texas right now. And this is going to slowly pivot its way eastwards, and as it does so, drag through that cold front. That cold front is acting to lift the atmosphere. It's digging under the warm, humid air at the surface, forcing it to rise, and likely igniting a long-duration severe weather event that's already underway in north and central Texas and will be moving into southeast Texas within the next couple of hours. So let's jump back here and just show you the expanse of the severe thunderstorm watches that are currently up across portions of Texas. In fact, it's quite interesting because if we put a distance tracker on this, we can actually see that the amount of area that it covers is quite large. In fact, let me move it back here. We'll move back over central Texas, and you can actually see what's going on here in terms of the size. It expands from the Texas-Oklahoma border all the way to the Texas-Mexico border, and the distance on that is somewhere around 500 miles. If we go over here to the distance tool again and try that again, go from Del Rio all the way up past Dallas, we're looking at around 427 miles. So that is a large severe weather event draped across the entirety of Texas, and this is all moving off to the south and east. So that's going to be interesting to see here. Now, some other areas here up and over the San Angelo area just to the east of there have an ongoing severe weather event. We've got the severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently up in the yellow polygons here. Notice what comes first. The severe thunderstorm warnings, and then as the cells drag through, they have so much moisture to work with that they're dropping a lot of rain. So following that are flash flood warnings, and that's like 2.5, 3 inches of rain falling within an hour worth of time. And that's in this general area near Brownwood, Brady, north of Junction, north of the I-10 corridor, and here's I-35. So we're well west of there, but it is all pushing on off towards the east. So that's something interesting we're going to be watching here over the next couple of hours. Now, Texas has
as a whole, again, things are igniting and moving fast. We're getting that bulge of energy dropping south. It's going to pick up forward momentum and eventually push all of this, give it a quick little shove into our area overnight tonight. So here's how it plays out on our future track modeling. We got the parent low that's sitting up here over the northern portions of Texas. As it gets going through the rest of the night, it's going to pick up that speed. Watch how much area it covers. We'll start here at 9:30. The front itself is just about to move through San Angelo. It's still well to the west of Dallas. Fast forward about 2.5 hours to midnight, and we're getting the Dallas area starting to see those showers and storms, the front pushing on into the Metroplex there, and then the Boeing echo sign of the frontal edge of the strong gusty winds. Heavy rain, thunder, and lightning pushing into our northwestern cities and counties. It covered a lot of area in just 2.5 hours' time. Fast forward another 2 hours, we're starting to see it edge into northwestern Harris County. Another hour or so push it into the downtown Houston area by 3:30 in the morning. Notice this Boeing signature of that entire line. That is a model signal of a widespread damaging wind event. That Boeing is the air rushing on out ahead of it, and that can sometimes also lead to the development of more storms. It forces more air to rise quickly, updrafts develop, and we see the storm line just sustain itself. Then as we get towards 5 a.m., most of this is along the coast by then, and then quickly pushing offshore. So it's going to be a window of opportunity from around 1 a.m. through 5 to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So relatively small window to cover our entire area, but it's going to be one of those rounds of storms that wakes you up well before your alarm clock goes off. So here's our stormy night scenario. Straight line winds are likely and expected. That's for winds gusting 40 to 70 miles per hour. Damage could include tree branches being down, power outages. We saw that with our first round this morning, brought around 50,000 outages, and that was only along and east of I-45. This is going to be our entire area being impacted by these strong winds. So power outages, damage to sheds, anything that's left outdoors that can become easily airborne, bring it inside before you go to bed tonight, just to make sure it doesn't end up down the street or in your neighbor's yard or cause damage to somebody else's property. David, so we're looking at those rain threats coming our way that are going to be a quick hit and miss for some of us, and then out of here. It's a secondary threat, but it's a real problem because this line's going to dump some very heavy rain in a short period of time. We could easily see 1 to 3 additional inches of rainfall overnight tonight as the storms come through, widespread across the area. This is not going to cause any type of bayou flooding or river flooding, but it will cause a lot of ponding and nuisance flooding on roadways and streets. So your commute tomorrow morning will be impacted by slowdowns with puddles and ponding on roadways across the area. But again, the good news is I'm not expecting any type of rain that should cause the bayous to rise. I'm not expecting any type of home or structure flooding. But again, those gusty winds and that heavy rain, the biggest threat, could see gusts in some spots that top 70 miles an hour. Then we get into the better part, the extended forecast. Wednesday, there's your rain chance in the morning, the stormy day. Thursday, a cooler start, low 60s, almost chilly Thursday morning. Friday's gorgeous, and then Saturday, Sunday, and Memorial Day Monday, we do get back into the low 90s. Humidity's not terrible, and it ends up being a very, very nice weekend overall for Memorial Day. But tonight is going to be bumpy. So Tim and I will continue to watch the situation. We'll keep you updated here, keep you updated online, on our social platforms, and of course a live update with updated computer models on KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then for our live TV broadcast.